Everybody, how's it going? I'm experimenting with new setups today, and so hopefully this works okay. I've never done a sculpting stream before. Hello everyone. Hi Mandolin, who hasn't been back in a while. Hi Katri. Within One Tiger, Lightning Fast, Miss Katie Girl, thank you all for being here. I have never done a sculpting stream before, so, you know, hopefully this will be okay. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna tilt this down a tiny bit. So anyway, I've got my clay that's been heating up. I'm using monster clay right now to make this sculpt of the head and the hair, and like right now it's all one piece. This part and the ears are going to be separated to be cast. But for right now, it's all still together, and I'm still just like adjusting the shape and kind of smoothing everything out, which is taking me kind of a long time because I'm not, I don't know, what's the best way to put it? I'm not an expert at this particular technique. My background is not in sculpting, but I think I'm doing a pretty okay job, considering everything, and I'm excited to see this come together, so I have confidence that it will all work out. But at the same time, I'm like kind of in unfamiliar territory. But it seems to be working pretty well so far. And I have Holly, my friend Holly, that a lot of you guys also follow, Commander Holly. She was the one who encouraged me to go this route with making the squid head. And so she has been providing a lot of insight and guidance on the choices that I should make for my materials and stuff like that. So it's all underway. I'm hoping to get this sculpt done pretty soon, within the next few days, so that we can mold it, and I can start playing around with casting and making it into a real thing, but I'm excited. Hi Travelsome! Solaheka! Hello everybody! You know what? I forgot to check whether or not our Twitch emote got approved, because the last time I checked it hadn't been yet, which is, you know, it takes a little bit of time, it's fine. But I didn't submit it right away. I wish I had. So I'm gonna check really quickly to see if that exists, but I haven't gotten any notifications that it's done or anything like that. So, give me just a second. Emote is still pending. Alright, well, there it is. We do not have an emote for use in this particular stream, but hopefully that'll be approved soon, and then we can enjoy the tap tap emote in all of its glory, which was made by Travelsome here in the chat. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. TK is asking if this is a cast of my head. It is, so enjoy this creepy stone version of me that's just hanging out here. How did I get it even on both sides? By doing the best that I could. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. This is all put together just by, you know, trial and error. Good old trial and error. I have my clay that's heating up in a little crock pot over here, and so it's kind of at this really nice mushy consistency right now. This monster clay is based with like wax. It's wax based and oil based. So it's like, it never dries out. It's always going to be usable, and you can reuse it over and over again. You heat it up to make it more malleable, and then as it cools down it becomes harder, and that's what makes it useful for casting, so that it's like stiff enough to maintain its shape while it's being molded. But the heat is what makes it malleable and soft, and it comes in different hardnesses as well. This is the medium hardness that I've been working with. So what I've done so far is just kind of try to block out the shape and like get the general size and proportions that I want. And there's quite a bit of cleanup that I need to do in various areas to make sure that it's like pretty, because it's not all pretty yet, but it is coming together pretty well. I'm actually going to turn this off for right now because it's reached a nice mushy consistency. This clay will melt if you let it, and you don't want to overheat it because then it starts separating, but right now it's at a really good spot temperature wise. Travelsome is asking if I'm making any weapons or just the wig. The weapons are being made by someone else. I don't know who. So the weapons are actually just going to be provided for me. So for that reason, I am not making weapons. But, you know, depending on, maybe at a later date, I would either make my own weapons or get some so that I can keep wearing this costume outside of San Diego Comic-Con. I'll get my own weapons. What am I looking for? Oh, this guy. I've got like a paint stick that I'm stirring my clay with over here. I know you guys can't see my clay, but it's delicious and chocolatey looking right now. Here you go. This is a big dollop of it. I'm kind of like checking to see if there's any like weird spots, and there is one down here. I guess I should make sure this is, you guys can see what I'm doing. But just like adding a little bit of clay to smooth out any place where there's like divots. Bokamak. Thank you for following. Welcome to the Squid stream. Yeah, I have quite a bit more stuff to show off on coming streams this week. I just got my paint for the shoes. I like started out with some white shoes that look really similar to what the amiibo is wearing. And so I got some Angela's paint that I ordered. It's like a nice flexible paint. But I haven't gotten a chance to do anything because that just arrived today. So maybe tomorrow or in the next few days I'll do a stream where I paint my shoes. Right now, this is all stuff that I did yesterday. I haven't really been working on it today until right now. So the sculpt itself is cool, like the clay is cooled down, and so it's all very like stiff in its position. So I'm gonna need to heat it up to try to like smooth anything out, but I am gonna be able to add new soft clay. Ruster Chen, I think. Thank you for following. Hi, hey, it's Char. Yeah, sorry, Stone Heidi is a little bit creepy. You know, headcasts are just creepy by nature, but it's what I need to be using to make this thing. I have my headcast from when I took a special effects makeup class when I was in college, so that's where that originated from. And I've gotten quite a bit of mileage out of it for cosplay purposes at this point, because I've done this, and I also sculpted Zelda's crown on my headcast, and I also did the female Titan face years ago. It was like the first thing that I did. Someone asking a question that I missed, maybe. Katri's asking if there's a wire inside that I put the clay over. Yes, but only in the tentacle areas. Basically, I did wire, like, for the two front ones are connected as by like one piece that goes through the head, and then another one for the back two tentacles, and another one for the like the very back little flippy thingies. Muiluma, thank you for following, as well as Flaming K, thank you guys for following, and James Porter, thank you all for following. Yeah, cool. So there is some wire that's supporting the tentacles specifically because they are like separate from the head, and I'm moving them around a little bit. So I used some thick wire to create like a little armature, and then I put foil over it so that it would have more of a three-dimensional shape for the clay to grip to. But there's not very much in there, it's only a little bit. Most of what you see is clay, but it's being supported by that, like, interior structure. Stoned Heidi? Well, you might be getting that too. Amashanda Plays, thank you so much for following. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you guys. I really hope that this looks as awesome as I'm imagining, and I think that it will. And Holly seems very confident in my ability to pull this off, which is making me, you know, more confident in myself as well. I have sculpted and cast things, but nothing quite this large before. So, I mean, I understand the concepts. I have some experience, some practice, but these specific techniques and materials are a little bit new to me. But I'm sure that with Holly guiding me, we're going to be a-okay and have some awesome tentacles in the end. So I'm just kind of like filling small holes that are in the surface here. There's quite a bit of smoothing that I still have to do, but I'm just kind of like adding a little bit here and there. Where there's places where it's like missing material. I'm trying to make them relatively symmetrical. Like, it is kind of an organic balance and it's not going to be 100% symmetrical because it's something that's sculpted by hand. So sort of like your eyebrows, they're sisters, not twins, right? So this is clay, Roost Archen. You tell me how that's pronounced and I'll say it right. Is asking me what is going to happen here. So right now this is clay, and so this is not wearable. This will never be a wearable costume piece, this particular piece. But what is happening here is that I'm creating a shape of something that I'm going to make a mold of and make a cast of, and the cast will be a wearable piece. So it'll be this exact same shape, size, whatever, but it'll be a different material. It'll be hollow on the inside and it'll be silicone, so it'll be squishy and squid-like. And so I've got quite a bit of smoothing to do to make it, you know, squid smooth. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Squid textured. But what you're seeing here is a representation of the final shape and how it's going to look on me and on my head. So there's some evolution that still needs to happen here, but I think that it's going pretty well overall. I need to make sure that my clay stays a good temperature. Mandolin was asking what the final material is. It is silicone. I'm not certain what kind. Oops, sorry. But I'll have that information once I'm to that stage. I will share all of that. Link fan, thank you for the $20 donation. Welcome to the stream today. Raster and hen. Okay. Rooster hen. A rooster, okay. That makes sense. Well, I'll just call you Rooster maybe, and then hopefully that is correct. And if you hate the way that sounds, then tell me to say something else. Let's see. Mandalin's asking, are the eyebrows also going to be silicone? Yes. So if you look at the little amiibo over here, yeah, to the side of the screen. I have to get used to my new camera position for today. You can see that this is the statue and my basing the design off of, and the eyebrows are like sculpted onto the statue as a separate piece, so they have their own dimension. And because the hair is so like stylized and cartoonish, I wanted the eyebrows to match because it would look like, I don't know, I think a little bit underwhelming if I just had these tiny little painted on eyebrows in this like weird squishy helmet hair. So I thought that it would be a good idea to make them also be silicone. So I'm going to test that out. Right now they're a little bit too big. I'm going to keep like working them down to be a smaller size. I think that they're a little bit too much right now. But it'll be along those lines of something that is dimensional on my face that will also have the same texture as the hair and everything else. But yeah, I'm excited to see that come along. Those will probably be cast separately as well. Holly advised me to separate the eyebrows and separate the ears, so that's part of the plan, but right now I'm just making sure that my stuff is all the same, the right general proportions that I want for the finished product. Thanks, Lord Crom. Squid armor. I have seen Pearl and Marina. They're so cute. I'm a little bit disappointed that I don't get to be Pearl, but you know, Marina is the popular one. I like them both. I like them both. They're very, very cute. The eyes and like the black portion on the eyes, it's just gonna be makeup for me. It's gonna be like an exaggerated makeup look, and I haven't exactly figured out what I want to do for that. I'm hoping to have the head ready a little bit early so that I can do some makeup tests on my own and just see what different techniques will look like. But that's my plan, is I need to mess around with some makeup, but get my squid look down. Okay, okay, say so it's Ruster. Sorry, Ruster. I'll say that now. I hope that's alright. Okay. Yes, Marina's wig / hair, the tentacles, is so cool looking. I love it so much. I can't wait to see all the cool cosplay of that design. Miss Katie Girl, in this particular instance, I cannot do a makeup test on stream because they have asked me not to reveal the final look until the convention itself. So for I have done like a Celica makeup test on stream, and I'll probably do that for other projects in the future. But for this one in particular, there's not going to be any kind of live makeup demo. Stay Dusk, thank you for following. Anyway. I'm gonna use my heat gun just to like soften this area a little bit. You want to be really careful and do this sparingly. But a little bit of heat will help me to start shaping these. I think that they are pretty symmetrical overall, but they need some more shaping. So I'm just gonna mess around with this today. Hi, Potion Seller. So Katie's asking what this costume is for. This costume is for a collaboration with Nintendo, which I'm very, very excited to be doing. I will be participating in some of their stuff at San Diego Comic-Con, and I don't know exactly how much they've announced so far, so I don't want to say anything until I see the official announcement, but essentially they're just going to have me there as a cosplayer, and there will be photo ops, which is what cosplay is for. So, you know. That information I'm sure will all be made and finalized and then made public very soon. But basically, I am just working with Nintendo for San Diego Comic-Con, and that's really, really exciting for me as a cosplayer to be able to do that. So that's what's up with this. San Diego Comic-Con is in like 2 weeks. It's not very far away. It's like less than 2 weeks now at the point that I will be wearing this. So this needs to come together very quickly. But I have a pretty good feeling that, you know, this is the one, like, really major part of the costume. The rest of it is making alterations that are relatively minor to other clothing items. And then I'm going to make a hat, too, I think. But this is, like, the main part of the costume that I really wanted to put my effort into. So for me to already be at this point where it's taking shape and it's starting to look like the thing it's supposed to be, I feel like I'm in a good spot. And I've only been working on this for a few days. It's only all been finalized for a few days, but I feel like we're in a really good spot for what needs to happen for San Diego. Oh, Katie, I'm so glad that the hooded eye trick worked for you. She's talking about my Celica makeup stream where I talked through my makeup techniques for cosplay and how that helped her out. That makes me glad to hear. Alright. So these are more or less like the shape that I want them to be already. They're just kind of lumpy, because I haven't spent very much time smoothing them out. Travelsome is asking if I'm in which squid I'm going to be dressed as. I'm going to be dressed as the amiibo girl squid. So the one that's in this picture over here on the side of the screen. I'm going to be wearing that entire outfit. If we look up the amiibo, they have released photos of the amiibo. This photo's public. But yeah, this is the costume. So I'm really excited about that. I've got most of my stuff, most of my materials have all arrived. I ordered all my stuff this week. And so a few things are still coming in, but got most of it ready to go. The Doctor, thank you for following. Hey, Blue Monkey. Someone else is making an ink gun sort of thing. Yes, that is, I think they call it their dualies is that particular weapon, and then the ink tank. And those things, I think some other weapons are being made by a different artist. So I don't know exactly who is making that. But I'm sure they'll be beautiful. Oh yes, my Borderlands 2 mouse that I've had forever since Borderlands 2 came out, that I got that from like the Gearbox event that we went to. Good times. Alright, I need to pull up my reference images and look at everything again, but I do like the general shape and size that I've got here. Bad Faith, I'm glad that you have revitalized your relationship with eyeliner. Alright, the chat is gonna be, oh no, I'll just hide it. Okay. My chat is still visible. I'm pulling up some reference images on my computer over here so that I can look at squid things and make sure that I've got the size and the shape that I want. There's some hollow space down in here. So yeah. Resident Crybaby is asking, the front part of the hair in the amiibo with the circle bits on it will be the texture. Oh, okay. Will it be smooth or textured? I think it'll be smooth. That'll be just a paint effect. That's my plan right now. We'll see. I don't want to spend like all of my time sculpting. I'm trying to get this ready to keep moving on so that I can spend time with the paint and the finish and make sure that it looks really nice. But we'll see. Splatoon is really fun. I haven't actually gotten to play Splatoon 2 yet, but it was at the Nintendo event. Oh, you love Lucy. Thank you so much for the $15 tip. And says, thank you for the dress pattern help a while back. I'm really glad that anything that I did helped you, so thank you. Yay! Yes, thank you, Katie Girl, for answering the eyeliner question. The section part, okay, you're talking about the interior. I'm sorry, when you said the circle things, I thought you were talking about the pattern on the exterior. The suction cups are going to be dimensional, so I do need to sculpt those on. But right now, before I do that, I want to like look at it from all angles and make sure that it's like, I'm just like checking everything over again. The front ones definitely need to have a little bit more volume on the inside, so maybe that's what I can work on right now. But yeah, the suction cup part that is like a little circle around the interior, that is going to be dimensional. All right, let me bring that back up. How much clay did this take? About 2 of those 5-pound containers so far. I have a little bit left in here, so it's not 100% like done right now. Or like I haven't gone through 100% of the second container, but I'm getting really close and I'm worried that I'm gonna have to buy another 5-pound container, but that's okay. I'll just have plenty of clay for my future endeavors. Like I said, I haven't tried to sculpt anything this large before, but I have a feeling I won't be stopping here. I'm definitely going to do more stuff along these same lines. Yes, suction cup, that's right. Sorry it took me a moment to figure out what you were talking about, Resident Crybaby. But yeah. Sorry, I realize you guys can't see very well what I'm doing at this angle, but basically I'm just adding a little bit at a time over here and making sure the shape is like smooth and more symmetrical on the inside. I can't see what I'm doing very well either, but I'm feeling it. Yes, it weighs a lot. I don't know what the head itself weighs, but there's like 10 pounds of clay here, so, I mean, maybe not like a lot, but compared to like other materials, I guess it's very dense and heavy. Potion seller, no, there's nothing, the clay is sticking to the head. You want the clay to stick to the head. But I mean, the clay is never gonna like harden, so it's not like I can't take the clay off. All you have to do is heat the clay up and then it comes off very easily. So that's why it doesn't need to have any sort of, I don't know, lubrication to prevent it from sticking, because I want it to stick. It's like anchored to the head, because it sticks. No, the silicone will not be heavy. Silicone is not nearly as heavy as clay or other materials. Plus, I don't think it's going to be solid. Like, maybe these areas, I'm not entirely sure. But we'll see. But I don't think it's going to be very heavy. Certainly not compared to, like, a wig. I think it would be similar to that, but not, like, significantly heavier or anything like that. The tentacles won't fall off. Are you talking about on the clay? Yeah, the tentacles, the reason why they won't fall off is because they have a wire base on the inside that the two are connected to each other. So, like, it's not like the wire could come up, like, yeah, there's a wire throughout the entire structure, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's not going to come off. They are being supported from the interior. But I guess to answer your question more thoroughly, like, I can continue to add and adjust everything that you see here. Nothing here is like permanent aside from my head itself, the stone head. So like if part of this were to become damaged or break or I don't know what, I can continue to add or remove clay at any point. Travelson is asking if I have to do anything special to wear it. I'm not anticipating having to, really. I might use a little bit of the silicone prosthetic adhesive, whatever that ends up being. You know, I might just like tack it down around the hairline a little bit or something like that if it needs it, but it really might not. If it's like a wig, it should be like able to stay on by itself. It seems like it should be pretty decently well balanced because it has these bangs in the front too. So I will stick it to like my forehead if I need to, but other than that, I'm not anticipating having to do anything special because it doesn't have any like seams that are supposed to blend into my skin or anything like that. It just sits on my head like a hat. So yeah, I'll probably just put my hair up under a wig cap the way that I would with a wig and then put this guy on. Dr. Barbados, thank you for following. I'm just massaging this tentacle on the underside to make sure that the clay is all solid up here. You Love Lucy, I have shorted out a heat gun, or at least, like, it just stopped working for unexplained reasons. But not this one, and not recently. That was a while ago. That was a question that she just had for anybody in the chat. Alright, I'm just like checking this out, adjusting the shape. So I'm probably going to be answering this question repeatedly all night. Won't it be heavy? I'm not wearing the clay. The clay does not ever become a wearable item. It gets cast, and then the cast of it, which is like a copy, will be made out of silicone. And that will not be heavy, and that will be able to sit comfortably on my head. So, when people continue to ask that question, maybe you guys in the chat can help me out and explain that. Because that's the one thing that I have to continually explain with Monster Clay, which I get it, I understand that it's not like, if you don't have a crafting background, it might be confusing, it's not obvious what's happening, but that is the continual question anytime that I'm working with Monster Clay, so now you know. Alright. Now I do need to take the ears off, but I'm not sure if I want to do that on stream. What do you guys think? I'm checking it out in the camera. I think this one could be a little bit fatter. I think I need some more... I need to make this a little fatter on the sides. Turn this back on. So here's some of my gooey clay that I'm just like peeling off of my paint stick now. So this is how soft it is heated up, which it can get even softer. You can completely liquefy it if you want to. But this is the temperature that I've got it at right now, where it's very like elastic. It's very soft. It's really nice because it doesn't stick to your hands really. Like if it's really, really hot, it'll be sticky enough to stick to your hands. Blasto with Rocket Boy, thanks for following. But this is like just a really nice workable temperature where it's super soft, super easy to work with, and it doesn't stick to you because it's just sticking to itself. So I'm gonna slap some more on this little guy down here. And I'm just trying to like visually compare it to the other one. You can see the difference between this soft clay versus the stuff that's been sitting here overnight that is not nearly as malleable and requires quite a bit of force to move it around. And that's what the heat gun is for, to soften everything back up when necessary. Thanks, Katie. Yes, this is Monster Clay. DJ, or J-Day, I can't talk. J-Day611, thank you for following. Thank you guys for answering each other's questions here in the chat. Yes, this is going to be cast into a silicone version. So this is just for creating the preliminary shape is basically all we're doing right now. I'm just going to keep laying a little bit at a time down where I'm trying to fill any areas that are like shallow. And like I mentioned before, this probably won't be like literally 100% symmetrical. It's an organic shape. You know, humans aren't perfectly symmetrical either, but we're close. No, Zelda was not my first attempt at casting. I've been casting things for years, but I generally only do small items. Like I would say that I'm pretty proficient at making like small accessories because I've been doing those for various costumes for over the years, but I've never done anything on this scale, but I think it's coming along pretty well. The clay does not have to be melted, it can just be demolded. It's going to be, I believe, a silicone mold. We'll see. You can see it getting shiny a little bit where I'm applying the heat because it's melting and it kind of self-levels a little bit. Yeah, this is a good temperature. Yes, I do have an iced tasty. I went out and got an iced tasty before I started streaming so that I would have something to motivate myself to work. I was really feeling like having a lazy day, but no time for that. All right. Hey Jesse Highwind. AX was really good. Unfortunately, I just wasn't there for nearly as much time as I expected to be. I did enjoy myself at AX for sure, but it was just so incredibly crowded and it got really overwhelming, and you know, you don't really want to stay in that kind of environment for too long. So I ended up having a nice time the days that I went, but usually by about sundown I was so tired that I didn't even feel like hanging out with anyone, and we literally just went home. So I was there on Saturday as Zelda, and then I was there on Sunday as Hanji and Moblet with Jared. And we definitely like enjoyed ourselves, and we got to shoot a little bit, and you know, had a good time in the costumes, but it was also just like so tiring that yeah, we kind of just quit the con in the evenings, and we didn't even like try to hang out with people, and then by Monday I just didn't even want to go back, so we didn't. It is like fudge. When you have it like all in the crock pot and you melt it all down, you get it to like this wonderful consistency where it looks just like a Wendy's Frosty. And then it's very distracting because you want to eat it. I'm just feeling my little tentacles up to make sure that they're roughly the same size. So yeah, sorry this isn't like really extreme or crazy to watch, where I'm just like gently adjusting small things, but I honestly needed to sculpt this kind of in my own time for the majority of it, because I wasn't like, it required my full concentration. Warg Whisperer, thanks for following. So right now I'm like just spending my time cleaning up things and kind of evening everything out a little bit, but you know, hopefully this is still mildly interesting and you get a look at kind of the decision-making process and what goes on behind the scenes. Oh, Katie. Yeah, the voice actress for Hanji tweeted at me last night just saying, hey, nice Hanji costume. It made me happy, yeah. That was really cool of her. So one cool thing that the monster clay can do is that right now I'm just kind of doing a general shaping pass, but you can heat it up with a heat gun and like just kind of lightly liquefy the very top layer, and it will help level everything out. You have to do it pretty like strategically and sparingly, because you don't want to just like nuke everything and then melt all of your work away. But it's really, really useful for taking something that's almost smooth and then making it very smooth. Pearl, Marina, or neither is the question. Well, I feel like Marina is obviously the popular one. Everyone loves Marina and Marina's look, and I agree, Marina's really great. But I don't like the idea that it has to be one or the other. They're both very, very cute, and Pearl's been getting a lot of hate, and I don't think that she deserves it. She's trying so hard. So I am pro Pearl and Marina. I think they're both precious, and I'm glad that we have them. Although I do think that Marina definitely has better hair. Hard to argue with that. She's so stylish. A hairdryer is not nearly as effective as a heat gun because a hairdryer is blowing air and you can adjust the temperature of the air, but it's still just like putting a lot of air. The heat gun is also creating airflow, but not nearly as much. It's much more heat instead of air, instead of just blowing on your product. So, your material. So like, you can use that for sure. It's just not as effective. If you really need to be applying heat to something, it's worth it to just go get a heat gun. They're not very expensive. You can get them for like 20 bucks or something. I mean, everyone's entitled to have their favorite. That's entirely fine. I just hate all the trash talking of one over the other. Talking about Pearl and Marina. I saw fan art where Pearl and Marina are looking at a computer and they're like, oh, I wonder what everyone's saying about our debut. And then Pearl reads like mean comments about herself and runs away crying. Marina goes and comforts her, and it made me so sad. So please don't do that to poor Pearl. They're friends and they love each other. Have some respect. No, I just relate to that way too hard. This poor girl, just getting hate comments. She's trying so hard, you guys. Hello, Leonovid. Techie Cutie, thanks for following. Yeah, basically I saw some fan art that made me sad, and so now I'm like, please be nice to Pearl. Alright, I'm just gonna add some more clay to the inside of this ear over here so that it has more of a smooth shape. It is gonna require some more smoothing. Once I take the ears out, I'll have more ability to get in there, but this needs to be rounder. It's a little bit flat from this side. Oh yeah, Flo is super cute. That's also true. Flo is very, very good. OMG, it's Barry. Thanks for following. And also Pixel Umbreon. I think I read those in the opposite order because they appear for me in the opposite order. Oh no, the Splatoon fan art is all over my feed right now, but I'm living for it. I'm very happy. Honestly, I really love the pink hair. Like, the one that I'm sculpting right now is, like, super, super cute. So, I think that... I don't know, I'm really happy to be making this one. Jesse, Jared actually did tweet me out. Or he retweeted me anyway. But he's also at a con right now, so he's busy, but he still did it. Yeah, Jared is at Indie PopCon right now. So I have the house to myself. I'm just here making a squid. I don't know. I got invited out to be sociable, and I just don't think I'm feeling very sociable. I think I'm going to stay here tonight and do squid stuff, you know. Just gonna like squish this all over a little bit. Girls with pink hair are really cute. They are cute. I agree with that. So you must have enjoyed Asagao Academy. Yeah, I love the new hairstyles in general for all of Splatoon and how you can customize it, and like they're really cute for Splatoon 2. So I'm really excited for the game. That's true. Travel Sub is saying that once the hair is done, I can wear it with a lot of different outfits. That's true. I can remake different stuff and I can get different weapons. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this. Alright. Now yesterday I did some adjusting to one side and I want to make sure that they match each other. I think this one needs some additional adjusting. So I'm gonna heat up this little tentacle section and just start like kind of reshaping some parts of it. Live that hermit art gremlin life. That's correct. I did my hair today. That's why it took me so long to start streaming, because I was like, I'm gonna do my hair. I deserve this. So I took some time for myself and did my hair. So it'll be nice for the next few days until I have to wash it again. So I'm just like kind of pushing a lot of this clay toward the center so that it has more of a rounded shape up here too. I need to fill in a little bit of clay on the interior. Katie's asking, do I have anything that's already made / bought for the outfit? I bought a lot of the base clothes, so I have like base shoes. I went ahead and just purchased some tank tops that I'll have to make alterations to, but that way I at least have like base clothing items. But I still have to design logos and things like that and make the different like appliques and stuff. I'm gonna be using vinyl transfer for the t-shirt. So I just need to make this little squid logo into a digital image, and then I can print that, or cut that rather, not print it, but cut it out on my Cameo machine. And then that just irons on. So a lot of it is just going to be relatively simple alterations to clothing, but this sculpting specifically is where it's going to be like the big time-consuming thing. So that's why I've put all of my time and energy here. I'm prioritizing this. And once this is done, the rest of it should go very quickly. I bought some base shoes that are white, and the shoes that this amiibo is wearing are like light turquoise. And I bought some paint, and it actually arrived early. It wasn't supposed to get here till like the beginning of next week or middle of next week. And it all arrived today and yesterday, which made me really happy. So those shoes can start getting painted right away. So maybe I'll do that in the next couple of days. My next stream might be a shoe painting stream. But yeah, aside from the hair, the shoes are the main other item that need the most attention in terms of like alterations or changes. But nothing on it is like, no one part of it is very difficult. It's all just like sitting down and doing it and making sure that it looks nice and, you know, that I'm thorough and I pay attention to all the details. So I think that would be a good stream. It's just shoe prep stream. Alright, so this is looking a lot more round on the interior. I don't know if that's obvious to you guys, but you can see my hair on the stream. Sorry. So Splatoon, Katie's asking about Splatoon. What's the premise of the game? It's a turf war where you and the other team, you get divided up into teams, and there's like different themes, and then each team has their own ink color. Mandolin, thank you for subscribing. And so then the two teams are basically on a battle to cover the most ground on a particular stage in their ink color. And there's more to it than that, and there's like little other ways that the game is a little bit more involved, but that's the gist of it, is that you're trying to cover cover the territory in your team's ink, and then it's like a battle to see who gets more. Alright, this one's nice and like plump on the interior now. think I'm gonna build this one out a little bit more to match it, but I like where they're at. And in fact, let me look at my reference image again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep heating it up and just like, cause see what I have right now, I'm gonna show you guys. What I have right now on this one, it looks like flat on the inside. I can use the same material here, but just try to like, this ridge needs to be more in the center and less only on one side. I don't know if that makes sense verbally, but what I'm gonna be doing is pushing more material away from this edge to move the visual edge and then have it be like more fatter in the center. That's the goal. Link fan, you gotta go get Splatoon. It's totally worth it. It is really, really fun. It's fun to watch too, and like the music is really cute and energetic. Here we go. So what I'm doing is probably, it's just little steps. This is why it takes me so long to sculpt, is because I'm just like continually making tiny tweaks. But yeah, even the first Splatoon game is really, really fun, so. Dr. Cantros is asking if the color on the silicone will be opaque or transparent. I'm not entirely sure. I think it'll be opaque, but the pigment is going to be mixed in, and then there'll be some paint effects on top of that. So like the main body of it will all be like a solid purple. I'm sorry, not purple, solid pink, and then the purple will be painted on. That's my current plan anyway. Alright, I think this one's still a little bit fatter, but I can fill in some more material from the back on this side and get it to be pretty similar. This stuff is really, it's sticking to me right now because it's heated up enough, but it cleans up so easily, like it just peels off of your hand. So this stuff is actually really nice to work with because unlike a water-based clay, it does not dry your hands out because it's waxy and oily. So as you work with it, you end up with like nicely moisturized hands at the end of the day instead of the opposite. Good night, Lucy. Thanks for joining us. Here we go. So I'm just building up the volume on the inside a little bit from over here. Oh no, this stream is making you hungry for calamari, says Dr. Cantrez. That's not my intention. Stay off the hook, don't get cooked. These poor squids. I love how this whole project has reminded me of that meme. Golden Lasso Girl, thanks for following. The meme, or well, I don't know if it's a meme, whatever. It's a screenshot of someone on, I think, a Nintendo forums being like, I wish squids were real. And then the response that the top response is just, they are. So good. The internet never fails to deliver delicious humor. Wimbledon, thanks for following. I don't think that squids cut their hair because it's not hair in the same sense that human hair exists, or, you know, mammal hair, I guess really is what I mean. So yeah, I don't think there's a haircut place in Inkopolis, that's what it's called, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if there's a stylist. There's gotta be something, because you can change your hairstyle in the game. I was so happy that they showed the hat shop in the Splatoon 2 Direct, because I was needing more screenshots of the head from all angles, and they did like a really quick shot where the character model is just like rotated perfectly in place, and I was like, yes, that's every angle that I needed in one go. Thanks, Rolling Star. Supreme Pigeon 89, thanks for following. Pocky01, thanks for following. Sunshine Regiment is asking, will the silicone be all wobbly and stuff? Yes, it will. It will be all wobbly and stuff. So that's why I'm so excited about doing this, so that my head will be all wobbly and stuff. What do you think, you guys? Does that look pretty symmetrical? Feels pretty symmetrical. Sorry if it's like hard to see me doing things. I swear I'm doing something. I'm not just like standing here touching it. Blue Jay Gaming Official, thank you for following. My eyebrows aren't quite symmetrical. One of them was like falling off. It like popped off the head cast, which is fine. I'm gonna take them off before I cast them anyway. Travelsome's asking what the symbol is on my shirt. It's another Attack on Titan shirt because I'm Attack on Titan trash. This is it. It's got all of the 3 different military branches and the cross swords from the cadets, and yeah, I'm just over here being Attack on Titan trash, like usual. So I ended up making this part a lot thicker. I'm going to add some here to make it more symmetrical. I'm going to get some fresh, warm clay. Here it's like, oh, that's super warm. I'll mix this up. Squid string. I'm so excited about being a squid, you guys. You don't even know. Char says, oh god, more Attack on Titan. Yeah, I know, I'm predictable. I don't think Attack on Titan is trash, but I mean, I'm just that into it. It's squid time. Yeah, guys, I'm excited about being a squid. I'm so happy that Nintendo Senpai noticed me. I do think it's a little bit ironic that, like, the Nintendo cosplays that I've done up until this point are, like, Samus and Zelda. They're, like, more feminine. Well, I guess they're not exactly the same. They're very different, but definitely more, like, elegant cosplays. And then they're just like, hey, you want to be a squid? I'm like, yeah, I want to be a squid. But, you know, there's, like, it's definitely a different style, but I'm happy to be doing it. I'm really excited about this. I think I'll be a good squid. I hope I'll be a good squid. I hope that I'm a good enough squid for you guys. Just smoothing out these little ears and making sure they are symmetrical as well. Yeah, so Holly recommended to me that I take the ears off of the main sculpt so that this can all be like pigmented pink when I am casting it, and these can be pigmented to match my skin tone. Am I a squid? I can't talk. Am I a kid now or a squid now? I'm both, baby. I ordered a Lazy Susan to put this on so that I can just like rotate it in place without having to slide it, but it's not here yet. But I wanted you guys to know that. I tried. Okay, there's another flat area over here. I'm gonna round out. Oh yeah, a lazy Susan. Yeah, that's the correct name for them. I mean, I say correct, like that's the colloquial name for them. But it's like a spinning platform that rotates. They're often used in the kitchen or on tables to like serve people food, but they're super useful for this too. Oh no. I accidentally scraped to the other side here with my thumbnail. That's fine. Hi, Spoopy Sparrow. Yeah, they're used in like kitchen storage too. You put them in a cupboard to put things on, like spices where you have a lot of tiny bottles, so that way you don't have to like pick up every single one individually when you're looking through your cupboard later. Where do I keep all my cosplays? I just keep them in a large closet. I have a room that is like costume storage room entirely, actually. But before that, before I was blessed with a cosplay storage room, just like whatever closet in your house you have space for. What's my favorite squid pun saying from in the game? Well, stay fresh is my favorite saying, but it's not a pun. They have all the stupid, ridiculous puns. What do they say? Inktastic everything. You guys are gonna have to help me out. Maybe we can come up with a cute pun here. Yeah. You could just put stay fresh, or definitely something like, I'm not good at puns, you guys. I'm gonna have to up my pun game, because they want me to like use phrases from the game. So I'm gonna be saying stay fresh a million times. But also everything, if it's like an ink pun. Do we have some terrible puns coming in here yet? Miss Katie Girl's asking, when working with monster clay like this, does it matter whether or not you leave it in room temperature when you're not working on it? Well, you don't want to put it in any sort of environment where your work will melt, period. So you need to be at, you know, it takes quite a bit to melt the clay though, but I would say that if you're in a really hot environment, there's more risk of the clay being soft and then getting bumped and then like, yeah. The warmer the room, the softer the clay, and the more likelihood that something can go wrong with it. But at room temperature, it's like, it's very sturdy. It's not gonna get like accidentally bumped and then that's gonna ruin it. Rian Q has followed. Thank you for following. So, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to like put it in the freezer or anything. Room temperature is fine. You got it, Squiddo. That's cute. I don't really know what the correct terminology is for these, because you're right that tentacles is like, they have a certain amount. This is not necessarily accurate to real life squids, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Rose Whiplash is here. Hello. Okay, nice to say hello to you as well, even if you're on your way out. Robesticles, thanks for following. Or Robesticles? Whatever. It's cute. Ha ha ha, you're cracking me up. Inquiring minds. That was a little bit of a stretch. Oh my gosh. Yes, Inklings also try to be hip with the kids and use street slang. I need to make sure that I'm brushed up on my Inkopolis street slang before I try to be a squid kid. Oh no, Katie, it's the worst. Tentacles would make someone laugh. Tentacles? Oh no. These puns. Yeah, Stay Fresh is still my favorite. Because I hate puns. But you can put whatever you want to on there. You can be more creative than that if you want to. That's for Taylor, who is making Troublesome. I mean, I don't think that any pun is actually truly great. I think that the greatness lies in the fact that they're terrible. Whale Facts is here with some squid facts saying they are still tentacles, but most squids have 6 tentacles for swimming/movement and 2 for eating. Okay, so they have different shapes based on their function, I take it. Yeah, Troublesome's like, I like you just know it's for art. Well, that's what it's been in the past. Is there a mod around to let you link it? That's a good question. Troublesome. There you go. Boom, Troublesome. Now you're a mod. Oh, and Kitten's here too. But anyway, that'll work out fine because Troublesome has been a great help in the stream. So now you should be able to be good to go to post your own links, Troublesome. But thank you, Kitten, for showing up. Yeah, I still don't have very many mods in this chat, so I feel bad that oh, I'm a squad now, says Troublesome. Oh my gosh. You are a squad now. Feistel, where did you get that? What an interesting little emote combo. Yay, Troublesome mod hype. That's right. Thank you, Troublesome, for all of your contributions to our stream. You have been knighted and hereby recognized for your work. I'm gonna turn my crock pot back off because my clay is starting to get real squishy and wet. But like I said, it's really easy to clean up. Ooh, yeah. And it's not like too hot. It's not like hot to the point where it's burning my hand, obviously. It's fine. It's comfortable. Oh, Troublesome did post a link. Sorry, I'm getting distracted and I haven't clicked it. Let's see it. Stay fresh! Oh, that's cute. You did my shirt. Oh, that's adorable. Thank you so much, Troublesome. I am a squid now. And I'm a kid now, in fact. Thank you so much, Troublesome. Once again, I'm just kind of like applying clay to the underside over here. I did most of my work off camera just because I was like not confident in my skills, but I'm actually pretty happy with how it all turned out. I just wasn't ready to like sculpt on camera, and now that I'm sculpting on camera you can't actually see what I'm doing. So sorry about that. But look, I swear I'm doing something. You see clay going on here and then disappearing, right? That's because I'm doing things. Whale Facts is asking, should they doodle a whale version of an Inkling? Yes, obviously. We need whale inklings. The clay is just disappearing into a void. It is still very much here on the underside of my little squid tentacles. Yeah, I don't know what these are called on the outside, that they're like little flippy dealies. I'm just secretly eating lots of fudge on this stream. Oh no, now we have whale puns. Alright, I think I've filled like most of the major voids here. Oh, I guess that side is not even. So this underneath, which you actually can kind of see, needs to be filled in a little bit more. Oh, welcome back, Loaderbot. No, the final product won't need support wires. It'll hold its own shape. The support wires are just because of the weight of the clay and because I want them to be sturdy. So the wires are supporting the clay, but the silicone won't need it. I'm gonna check my references again, make sure that everything is shaping up how I want. I don't know. Dragon and Galaxy says hello. Their girlfriend and them are gonna buy a house. That's a really big commitment. Good luck with that. Well, thank you, Travelsome. I enjoy it when you draw me. Alright, I still feel like this tentacle could be fatter, and I don't want to just like... Well, I guess I can just keep putting clay on here until it looks ridiculous. I don't know, it is supposed to be cartoonish, you know? Just want to make sure that it looks right from the outside. But now that I'm looking at it, again, compared to the reference image, I think it might be fine. Build it up a little bit more on this side. Do any of the squiddos have pierced ears? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I haven't seen it yet. Alright, let me just take a moment to feel everything. So, I'm starting to be pretty happy with the shape and size of everything. I've kind of gone over and refined a little bit of the like divots and things like that. I need to look at this from all angles and make sure that that is consistent everywhere. But comparing it to the reference images, I think this is pretty good. Pretty good overall. In terms of like the large scale, like the scale and the proportions. I'm gonna smooth out this top a little bit. That's what I'll do right now. I'll lift this so you can see. Whoops. There you go. Probably won't have a super long stream today. Probably wrap it up here within the next 30 minutes-ish, maybe. Just because with this, I feel more confident working where I'm not also trying to, like, interact with everyone. Which is not to say that I don't love your presence, but I feel like when I'm doing something that I'm less familiar with, I'm a little bit better off just, like, working on my own time. Katrina Gabriella, thanks for following. So I'm just using like a tongue depressor to apply. Oh, well, this is no longer liquefied. I'm gonna scoop up some more fresher stuff. And just smooth it out. And then this will need some additional smoothing, obviously, with more tools, and can melt it on a little bit with heat. But this way it kind of like fills in any of the larger gaps. Let's start with something that's at least mostly smooth. And there's a pretty thick layer of clay kind of across the whole head. So I need to make sure that it is relatively even and consistent and not like doesn't have like weird dips and things in it. The ears are going to be made separately, but then they'll be reattached. So this will all be one piece in the final product. So it'll look the way that it looks now, and then the ears won't need to be worn separately. That was a question from Dr. Cantraz. Lord Crom is heading out. Have a good night, Lord Crom. Thanks for joining us. Head is a little bit uneven, so I'm applying a little bit more liberally on this back side. And my pretty smooth head is all lumpy again, but that's fine because it's still closer to being smooth all overall. So I'll show you how that's looking right now. It's much lumpier. But it's okay, we're about to smooth it out again. All right. Check in here again. Dame Gardener, I did do a Persona cosplay. I just did a Futaba cosplay, so you can go check that out on my website if you want to see it. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't explain that the ears would be reattached, but yes, the ears will be all a continuous piece of this. It's just going to be cast separately, so I need to change the sculpt before I mold it. Well, thank you, Miss Katie Girl. Don't feel obligated. I mean, obviously the donation button exists and I appreciate support, but no one should ever feel like they absolutely need to, or that I'm expecting it, because that's not the case. Everyone is all welcome to be a part of this, regardless of whether anything is contributed. Pastel Monster, thank you for subscribing to me! It makes me so happy to see you here in the chat. So thanks for coming to my streams. Thanks for supporting. Alright, so I'm gonna check back in on the chat in just a second, but right now I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing, because I am melting this very top layer of clay. So you guys watched me apply all of this, and, you know, I smoothed it on as best as I could, but it kind of comes out lumpy when that happens, and it also gets, like, little air bubbles in it. I need to make sure that's not on my camera. So hitting it with the heat gun, it liquefies the very top layer, and then the little air bubbles start coming up. And basically this is just going to enable me to make it a lot smoother. Alright. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying not to hit that thing. And there we go. So this is removing some of the clay again, but it kind of scrapes it into a flatter surface, or a smoother surface. It's not flat, obviously, it's a curve, but... Is anyone eating chocolate right now? No, but I wish I was. Yes, I also feel this. Have I ever burned myself from sculpting clay that was too hot? No. The clay doesn't get... Like, it would be liquid before it would be hot enough to burn you, and then if it's liquid, you wouldn't be shoving your hands into it, probably. Hold on just a second, I need a tissue. Aries! I hear you crying, baby! My baby's crying in the other room. Can you guys hear him yet? Aries, come here! He gets sad when Jared's out of town. So do I. We both get sad and lonely, and we have to support each other. Aries, come here! Aries, you know where I am! Stop screaming! He's like in the other room making really pathetic sounding noises. Like he's just been abandoned and he's all alone in the world. Chancy Kong, thank you for following. You can see it getting liquidy and melty. Aries! Anyway, he's being high maintenance right now because he's making these piteous cries like he wants me to come to him, but he knows exactly where I am. And that he's not alone. Did you hear that?
Finally awake, are you? You've been out a whole week. You were found unconscious in the ravine near Norinde.
Can you guys hear him?
I take it that was your home?
He's been like crying repeatedly.
Let's ask you to stay calm. Your village is gone. A great
Aries, we can all hear you. You're being dramatic. Guys, he's really insisting that I need to come to him. Aries! Alright guys, he doesn't seem to want to do it. He wants me to come to him so badly. He won't come in here. I tweeted about it, but the other day, Aries tried to pounce on a bird. Unfortunately, the bird was outside, and he was on the inside of a glass door looking out. And he just straight up face planted into the glass. And Jared and I were both sitting there eating lunch, and Jared watched it happen. I like heard it and turned and saw him like scampering off, all embarrassed. But he turned around and looked at us and was just like, oh no, my parents are making fun of me. And it was really cute because he was so obviously self-conscious like right after it happened. No. Kitten is saying, is there a chance that Aries is stuck in or on something? I appreciate that you are concerned for him, but he has cried wolf before. No, I think that he's, if I were concerned for his safety, I would be going to check on him, but this is very typical of him. He's a huge drama queen. I can also hear him gradually walking towards me, so... Oh, look, there he is! Alright guys, he might come over here. But he's finally now in the room with me, and not just screaming at me from the other room. Hey, baby! Oh, there you are. You wanted to come say hi? Say hello to the chat. Say hello to my sculpture that I've been working on. What do you think? Are you feeling better? See, now I'm holding you. See, everything's okay. You guys heard him and the noises that he was making. Oh, now you went down. Alright, well, there you go. So dramatic. Oh, and there's a cat here. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, you heard him. Sounded like the world was gonna end, but then the second I'm holding him, he doesn't want anything. No, he's fine. No, he was just checking on me. So like, I guess the Aries just scared their cat away. Yeah, I think that he was just lonely because he heard me in here and that he wanted me to be with him. So he came to visit and that was enough, I guess. Because he's already, oh no, he's still in here. He's moving on now. Alright, and this stuff is already like hardened to the point where I can rub my hand over it like this. And there we go. So that's how I've been getting most of this shape to be as smooth as it is, which there's still a ways to go before it's like, you know, dolphin smooth or whatever. But you can see how that definitely made a difference. I'm gonna go over this section again. It's really fun to see it like liquefy itself. And like I said, this encourages the air bubbles near the surface to like rise and pop. So it's worth doing like in small sections or like several times over in order to get like a kind of like liquid smooth surface eventually. Which is what what I want my final product to have, is to be absolutely as smooth as I can make it, which will include multiple passes like this with the heat gun. But like I said, you don't want to do too much at one time, because then you just get like a really liquidy mess. And then it's easier to end up messing up your work as you're going. Oh, Whalefax just posted something. Sorry. Dr. Cantros is asking what the name of my familiar of my character is in D&D. That is, I have a little pseudo-dragon named Balerion, which is from Game of Thrones, but his character is like based off of Ares, more or less. Okay, here's the whale inkling. It just loaded up. Maddie, thank you so much for this cute whale inkling. That is pretty adorable. There you go. Everyone can go and click that link and check it out if you want to see it. And they're saying that they made a side ponytail with the fins and barnacle as a hairpiece. Whale fins are stiff and don't make good hair. Well, there's another whale fact for you. Thank you, whale fact. That's pretty cute. Miss Katie Girl is heading out. Thank you for coming to the stream. I'm probably not going to be going for too much longer, but I do want to keep smoothing out what I've got here. But yeah, my little pseudo-dragon in my D&D game is pretty cute. He's based off Ares in spirit, I guess, is what I would say about him. One hole at the very top that I do need to fill. It's like an air bubble that was a little bit too large and needs to have some actual clay pressed into it. Alright, just checking in here again. This is my favorite song on this whole playlist. Sorry I've been a little bit quieter this stream. Just trying to be strategic about my approach here. Dr. Kendras is asking, when silicone cures, it is exothermic, right? So bubbles close to the surface could pop and destroy the product if not dealt with. You're correct in a sense, but also keep in mind that the mold is going to reverse what you think of as being close to the surface. The positive and the negative are reversed. So like inside the mold, this is not the surface. The surface becomes the interior. So it's like the bubbles that are going to be popping that are like you want the first layer that you put in needs to be really smooth, yes. But then beyond that, the bubbles are going to pop because they're going to be rising toward the middle. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense or if that was just really abstract sounding, but basically what is currently the surface will not be the surface once it's inside the mold. At least not in the same way. Oh, sorry, just a second, I need to blow my nose. Alright, once again, I'm going to keep working on this little section because I've got this like stubborn, bubbly area. Oops. Okay, cool. Glad that did make sense. So yes, you are thinking correctly, like in anticipating a potential problem, but for the actual technique of the molding and casting, it's dealt with, I guess you could say. Alright, I'm probably not going to be streaming too much longer because I'm getting to the point where I really want to like take my time and kind of examine this from all angles and know that I'm entirely happy with it before I start spending all of my time smoothing it out. Because once I start smoothing it out, I want to make sure that it's like a solid look. But look, you can see the light hitting the top of it, and I don't know, it looks pretty smooth to me. I mean, obviously there's surface irregularities, that's what I'm trying to say. And so that will need to be smoothed out some more, but as far as the actual shape of the head and the curve and like the shape that I've built up, I think is pretty smooth and consistent looking. So from here on out, it's just like the fine texturing and detailing that needs to be adjusted for. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm pretty happy with it. Do those tentacles look like they're all even and in line and all of that? I think there might need to be some more filling in on the underside over here. I think that this is also going to have a hat. The amiibo statue itself does not have a hat, but some of the reference images they sent me does have a hat. So I'm thinking that I'm going to end up making a hat, which I ordered supplies for. I just haven't started building that yet. But the hat will sit on top of this, most likely. It doesn't have to be worn with a hat, but I figured I'm probably going to make the hat So that will be actually hiding the beautiful surface that I've been working on. But for the most part, this is definitely looking how I want it to. It just needs to be refined a little bit more. There it is. Yeah. And once I finish smoothing out the actual surface texture of it, I think it'll look really cool. Someone asked if I'm gonna make it like shiny. I'm certainly gonna look into that. I'm gonna try if I can. We'll see, because it depends on you know, what pigments and stuff are available. I know that there's various casting pigments for silicone that you can either paint on or mix in, and I think that I will end up using both techniques for this whole project. Like, it'll be mixed in, but then have additional paint effects on the outside to get that gradient. So if I can also make it like shiny and wet looking, I guess, without interrupting those painting needs, then I'm gonna try to do that, but we'll see. I'll have to talk to Holly about it and go and check and see what is actually available. So now I'm roughing up the surface a little bit, but it is smoothing it out still. So it's just gonna be a combination of going back and forth and just spending my whole night with this, but yeah, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of this process and what happens and what I had planned for this and what I'm working on and how I'm doing it. But ultimately, I feel like this particular project, at least the sculpting section of it, I'm better off doing it when I can fully concentrate on it and not have to also be talking to all of you, which I do love, but you know, it's dividing up my concentration a little bit. So that's the gist of what's happening here. I'm going to continue refining this over the next few days, and I'll be posting some progress images and things like that so you can see how that's going. But otherwise, this will probably be the only stream that I have dedicated specifically to sculpting this thing. I'll talk to Holly and see whether or not we can feasibly stream the molding process, and if we can, then we will. But if that's too much work, I think we might do that at her place. She suggested that I just bring the sculpt over and we can mold it there. So it'll depend on the logistics of that. Wistful Rabbit, thanks for following. That's a cute name. So hey Travel-Some, I know you just got back, but yeah, this is gonna be probably the end of my stream here. But that's what I have going on. I do have my supplies to start working on the shoes, which I didn't think would be here very soon, or yet, and they are, and so I'm happy about that. So probably within the next day or two, I'll be doing another stream where I start shoe work. And I got my paint samples in. This is what I was excited about. There's two different colors here. There's a turquoise, is this one. And this one is called South Beach. I think the turquoise is actually closer to the color that I'm going for, but it needs to be brighter. So I'm gonna end up mixing some colors. That's what I'm gonna be doing on my next stream, is painting those shoes and starting to get all of that underway. So there's a lot more coming in terms of squid progress for the next few days. But this is where we're at right now. Shiro Shift, thanks for following. Alright, well I'm glad that some of you guys enjoyed watching this. I know that it wasn't as visually dynamic as some other things that I've been working on, but you'll see it when it all comes together. I don't know if I'm going to do ink splats or not. I wasn't planning on doing the ink splats like of the other team's ink because I'm not 100% certain what the ink color is of the boy squid. So basically, they have a boy squid cosplayer. So I'll be there. I'll have a cosplay partner as the Inkling boy. So I don't want to end up to show up like covered in a different ink color than whatever he has in his gun, because then that wouldn't make any sense. So for that reason, I probably won't cover myself in like ink like I got splatted or whatever. But I do think that the costumes are going to look really cute together. I can't wait to see it all come together. So that's what's going on with this. Thank you all for joining me, and thank you for all of the kind words about this project and this job. I'm really, really excited to be doing it, and I hope that it comes out well. So I guess you'll just have to stay tuned in the coming days and see how it all ends up going. But thank you guys for the support, and I will talk to you all later. If there's not a stream tomorrow, then I'll probably do one on Monday, because I need to keep moving along with this. But just watch Twitter or whatever, and I'll post about upcoming streams. Alright, Have a good night, everyone. Bye.